Did you hear what Wannabe MZ guy did this week? Wannabe MZ guy and his goofy girlfriend?
I think I know who you're talking about, yes.
I don't want to mention this. He's another one of the hop on the Cornette bandwagon. If I can get Jim Cornette to argue with me, somebody will know that I'm alive, right? Besides my mother and possibly members of my immediate family. Some of these people, their dogs aren't even sure that they like these people. So this is another one of the hop on the Cornette bandwagon people. Actually, I argued with him first because he was running his dick licker in public again on Twitter and making stupid statements. He's one of these people that in the past has had many suggestions on how I can modify my fucking behavior and just what's wrong with me. And he'll sit down and he'll enumerate these things. Like I said, to get me to yell at him because nobody knows who this fucking guy is. Actually, a few people do. I'll get to that in a second. He thinks I call him Wannabe MZ because he thinks he's doing like a TMZ meets wrestling kind of thing. That's because have you ever seen that TMZ show to begin with? They actually introduce videos with some guy says, well, yeah, we sent a guy with a VHS camcorder to fucking walk up and get in the face of fucking noted rapper Putz McGee and ask him about global warming. And here's what he said. Well, and then Putz McGee says, yeah, man, that global warming, that's bad.
Well, you know, the guy you're speaking of, that's actually where he started. He was at TMZ for a while.
Well, I heard he was the janitor at the building and he went to get coffee. And then they started a TMZ football team and he played guard, end, and tackle. He sat on the end of the bench, guarded the water, and tackled anybody that tried to fucking steal it. But anyway, it's this fucking joke of a human being. He's had all these ideas about what I need to modify. Come to find out, he wasn't stalking a porn star. That stalking is a strong word. Apparently, a bunch of people are on him because he's just creepy to a porn star. He apparently found out by a random tweet that this porn star that he's infatuated with, that he's been sending direct messages to or whatever, was like in a grocery store, and he not only showed up at that place, but he showed up with his girlfriend, so his girlfriend could go over and ask this fucking porn star if he could have her autograph, but he didn't want the porn star to think he was creepy, so he sends a girl over to do it. I think they're all creepy. And a bunch of people are on him about that. But he thinks there's ways I ought to modify my personal and romantic relationships. While he's not even got the guts to walk up to a porn star, for fuck's sake. But anyway, this idiot actually said he was referring to something that Tony Khan had done, right? Tony Khan had told the people at his taping, when they just let fans in at the AEW taping, said, please don't cuss and use profanity because we're on television. Well, this Wannabe MZ tweets, well, where are all the people that are outraged when the WWE tries to mind control people and tell them how to react when Tony Khan of AEW does the same thing? Oh, fucking hell. And this guy supposedly allegedly tells people he's in a television bit. This guy is to journalism and television what German bukkake flicks are to cinema. But he doesn't even know the difference between telling people how to react and telling people not to cuss at a television taping. And he gets some people trying to defend him saying, well, yeah, it's a TV 14 show and the talent can cuss. Why can't Number one, TV 14 doesn't mean that you all 500 people in the building can chant, you fucked up over and over again. Secondly, especially when it's live television, all of you TV experts out there, it's a pain in the fucking ass, even if you've got a guy with a finger on a 7-second delay button, to mute crowd chants without fucking up the rest of the program, because they bleed over the announcer audio, especially in nearly empty buildings, which is what you're dealing with AEW on a good night anyway. So it's complete idiocy. And something that every wrestling promotion that's ever done television has done, at least since the days of when people didn't have the good common sense that not to fucking cuss when they're at a TV taping. We never had to say that in the 80s, and the people legitimately hated us. But now that everybody's smart and knows it's a TV show, they want to scream fuck all the time on live wrestling TV shows. Fucking idiots. So anyway, I volunteered to take up for Tony Khan. And I tweeted back, I said, never mind, Tony, I got this one. And I told the dipshit how fucking stupid his statement was. And for all the reasons that I just enumerated, he knows that. He's just trying to be contrary. He tries to argue with people because he wants people to notice him and his fucking wannabe MZ show. So when I did that, then of course he's trying to engage me to get a name and a reputation off the Cornette bounce. The Cornette bounce. And he decides to tell me how to modify my behavior, as I said, and mentioned, well, you must have had a bad cucking session. I said, no, actually, it's a fucking session, and you wouldn't know what those are since you only date the Four Sisters on Thumb Street. But then he actually, unless it's just him under another account, because I've heard people do that, don't they, Brian? They get other accounts and pretend to be other people so they can agree with themselves. But did his girlfriend or did his girlfriend not actually send out a tweet, much like Trent's mother on AEW in her minivan? Did he not have his girlfriend send out a tweet verifying that they had had sexual relations that week so that we would all know?
I assume it's his girlfriend because she labeled herself as such, and why would anyone do that otherwise?
Do you have the transcript of his significant other's tweet that I said she has interjected herself in this situation so that I could read that or I could hear that?
I have it here, yes. Hey, Jim, Ryan's hot girlfriend, thought I'd pop in real quick to let you know he's had sex with me, his hot girlfriend, 5 times this week.
Well, I guess I stand corrected. He has had sex 5 times this week, but darling, I don't know what your name is, so I'll just say hot girlfriend. You better watch out, because the reason why you're so hot, if you had sex with him without wearing protection when you penetrated him, well, one sign of a sexually transmitted disease is a high fever. That may be why you are having this flushed, hot feeling. It can't be from your picture. Trust me on this. I put your picture in prison cells to cure the sex offenders. But if you're hot and you got a temperature, I would suggest wrapping that rascal the next time that you penetrate your boyfriend wannabe MZ. And otherwise, just slink on off and stay the fuck where you belong, which is in your place, know your role, shut your mouth, and take some comfort in the fact that most people in the world that are hearing me speak now have no idea who the fuck you are or what you look like, so you are not completely and utterly humiliated. Thank you very much.
Honey, do me a favor. Can you write to this porn star and ask her if I could just meet her? And then when you're done with that, let Jim Cornette know I've actually had sex. Please, just let him know I've been laid. Anyone can anoint themselves a wrestling journalist. There's nothing else like it. You don't see real journalists get into fights like these so-called wrestling journalists get into. And then anyone just is like, all of a sudden, I'm a wrestling journalist. You know nothing about wrestling, nothing about wrestling history.
But are there Star Wars journalists? The people that are really into Star Wars, I mean, hey, we're all fans of something, right? But the people that are really into Star Wars, do they start websites about Star Wars and critique the Star Wars movies and then become professional Star Wars journalists where they claim to have all the inside scoops about the next Star Wars and the people that produce and act in them? Are there Star Wars journalists, or is it just wrestling?
Well, there certainly are people who do what you said. They create websites and critique Star Wars, for example, and I don't know if they.
But I mean, are they ongoing journalists about this? Are they on top of every time that fucking George Lucas fucking leaves his house to take a shit in a fucking porta potty? Are they there to cover it?
No, I think wrestling is really unique with this, in that in other things you'll hear like, Star Wars blogger or something. But in wrestling, you have these people just say, I'm a journalist, and the media doesn't give a shit about wrestling by and large. So sometimes they even accept that these people who have made themselves journalists, who have declared themselves journalists, they're journalists. But in actuality, they're just jerk-offs begging for work.
Brian, I'd be a whole lot more comfortable right now if I was wearing my buttercloth shirt.
That was
I'm
transition out of nowhere.
I'm going to just jump right into it. Folks, we've been telling you, these buttercloth shirts, they are softer than a warm puppy's belly. I am telling you that. It's the world's most comfortable dress shirt. They sent me a variety of styles and colors. And even though I'm going nowhere, I put them on. I can't wait to go somewhere again in public so I can wear these because I put them on in my house and they're great, but nobody's seen them yet. But whether you're tall, whether you're stout, whether you're husky, whether you're portly, whether you're even bulbous and rotund, whether you're elongated, bowling pin shaped, they've got a range of sizes to fit your body type. Whether you're type positive or type negative, whatever it is, it makes you look like a Friday night but feel like a Sunday morning. They're not stiff. They're not scratchy. These folks have developed what they call a profoundly soft fabric. It's a special blend of 100% long fiber cotton, a unique magnifying manufacturing process.
That's right.
Stretches every which 6-way stretch. And you may have seen him on Shark Tank. Robert, the guy whose name I can't pronounce, invested Herjavec. Well, there you go. He invested a $250,000 in this. But right now they are featuring their new icy cotton collection. It's woven with organic mint fibers for a natural cooling effect. So especially here in the summertime, you can look, don't get those pity stains. Don't get the pity stains. Don't get the bat signal across your back where you're sweating through it. You're sweating like a fucking whore in church. And it reflects on your overall coolness, not only temperature-wise, but also appearance-wise when you have giant sweat stains on your shirt. Well, this is long fiber cotton for breathability. Long sleeve, short sleeve styles available, regular and tall. And our listeners can get 20% off their first purchase. Go to Buttercloth, Butter, butter, because that's how soft they are. Buttercloth.com/JCE. Get 20% off the first full price order. Buttercloth.com/JCE. 20% off these wonderful, soft, cuddly shirts.
My favorite is the mint cooling one. I wear that one all the time. That is maybe my favorite shirt in my entire collection right now.
Because ever since I've known you, you've been hot around the collar.
I guess so. Maybe those STDs.
Well, there you have it.
Previously said. I don't know.
Yes. I don't know which transition we're coming out of. What do you got? It's your turn.